Hi, this is Pam of PamBranchDesigns.com, where we sell decoupage papers that I design. They are inspired by nature, fueled by faith, and crafted to bring beauty to your handmade crafts. Today, I'm going to be making a trinket bowl out of air-dried clay. After the bowl has dried, I'm going to decoupage it with one of my rice papers. I first knead the dough and then roll it out using this. It's a cardboard roll that came inside a roll of paper. But I also sometimes use a PVC pipe, but you can also use a cup or some other cylindrical object. And what I'm doing is I use two craft sticks and I tape them together. That way I can roll out the clay and it would end up being an even surface. Now, if you have questions about what I'm doing, feel free to leave a comment below. What I'm doing here is just using a bowl from my kitchen to make a indentation in the clay, and then I'm going to cut it out using an old X-Acto knife. Now that I've removed the excess clay, I'm just going to smooth it out using my finger. I've put a little bit of water on my finger and now I'm just smoothing out the edges. The smoother the clay, the less work I have to do after the fact with sanding it. Now, this project is not perfect. I was just testing out this idea of using this plastic wrap in order to smooth that over the clay and then more easily slide the clay into the bowl so that the bowl could serve as a form without the clay sticking. It did end up leaving some wrinkles on the clay, but because I don't usually look for the project to be perfect, the wrinkles in the clay didn't bother me. I think the key is to experiment and then find out what works best for you. I was creating several pieces at once, so I just took all of those pieces outside and sanded them one at a time. Of course, I waited for the pieces to all be completely dry first before taking them outside and sanding them. Once it was smooth to my liking, I then worked on figuring out how I was going to position that paper into the bowl. And since I really didn't want to try to fit the paper around the curves, I thought it would be best to just cut the flour out and then place it into the bowl. And because it took a little time, I just sped things up a bit. Now, if you're new to decoupage, according to Wikipedia, it's the art of decorating an object by gluing colored paper cutouts onto it in combination with special paint effects, gold leaf, and other decorative elements. So, in addition to paper, you can also glue down cutouts from fabric, and I've done that as well. So, it's really up to you and your imagination. I use rice paper here, but I also use tissue paper, and so many people use napkins. It really depends on you. And the clay I'm using in this project is Das air dry clay. And because of the nature of this clay, I really don't paint it white first. You can if you'd like to, but I really like to just work with the natural color of the clay because it is so light. So what I do here is just first find out the placement of my flour, and then I apply my decoupage glue down onto my trinket bowl. And then once I apply enough decoupage glue, then I place my flour down. After I place the flour down and let it dry, Then I give it another coat of glue, which also acts as a sealant. And then I decided to take it outside and give it a quick spray of an acrylic sealer. Now I'm just cutting off the excess paper. And like I mentioned before, after I cut off this excess paper, then I'll apply a coat of the same glue, which acts as a sealant. I was working on multiple projects at once, so when I was done and everything was dry, that's when I took things outside, put them in my little box, and then sprayed them all at once. And I really love the way this turned out, and I decided to use it as a place to rest my paintbrushes when I was allowing them time to dry. But I'll probably just use it as a little place to hold my paper clips on my desk. I don't really want to cover up that flower. So if you like, come on over to my Facebook Decoupage group. I'd love to have you. And thanks for watching.